This is Senor Eggroll, and soon it will be Senor Eggroll's birthday, and to celebrate, he wants his friends to throw a surprise party for him. His friends are Daphrocilius Domiligus, Imjim, and Paul. Unfortunately, his friends don't even know his birthday. Turns out they only hang out with him because they think his mom is hot. So Senor Eggroll devises a plan. Because he's a petty little bitch, instead of telling them his birthday outright, he'll give them a list and give them limited information. He tells Imjim only the day of his birthday, and he tells Paul only the month of his birthday. With this combined knowledge, it's up to the friends to figure out when Senor Eggroll's birthday is. They proceed to have the following conversation. Paul says, "You and I still don't know Senor Eggroll's birthday," with which Imjim responds, "I didn't before, but I know it now." Followed by Paul saying, "I know it now too." Now, with all this information we've been given, even Daphrocilius Domiligus can figure out Senor Eggroll's birthday. Now my question is, when is Senor Eggroll's birthday? Let's break it down. The first thing Paul says is you and I still don't know Senor Eggroll's birthday. So how can Paul be so confident that him and Imjim don't know Senor Eggroll's birthday when he only knows the month? Well, let's think about it. There are two unique days in which Imjim would know the birthday outright, just from the day. And those are December 2nd and June 7th, because those are the only 2 and 7 in all of the possible birth dates. However, Paul also knows this fact though, so he wouldn't be so confident to tell Imjim that he definitely doesn't know Senor Eggroll's birthday unless Paul knew something that Imjim didn't. And that would be that the birthday was definitely not in June and definitely not December. Because if Paul was told that the month was June or December, he wouldn't be confident enough to say Imjim didn't know the birthday. So now we're left with only March and September birthdays, and both Paul and Imjim know it. Now Imjim responds with, "I didn't know before, but I know it now," telling him that whatever Paul said gave him enough information to deduce the answer. So with these 5 dates, Imjim now actually knows the birthday. So what does that tell us? That tells us that it can't be March 5th and it can't be September 5th. Because if Imjim knew only the day, he would not be able to deduce whether it was March 5th or September 5th. Which leaves us with 3 final dates. Now Imjim already knows the answer because he was told the exact date. So he knows that it's either a 4, 8, or a 1 that he was told, and his answer was deduced from there. But we also know that based on Imjim's response, Paul actually also knows the answer. And since Paul was only given the month, the only way he could know the answer off of what Imjim said is if the answer is September 1st. Because if Senor Eggroll's birthday had been either March 4th or March 8th, Paul would not have been able to deduce it purely off of the month. So we must know the answer is September 1st. And Daphrocilius Domiligus also knows it because he was in the same scenario as us and we just deduced this answer. So our final answer is that Senor Eggroll's birthday is September 1st.